And we're live again. This is Woody Collins, and I am so sorry that something happened today, and I did not realize it until I was downloading video to put it up on some other sites, and I noticed that after the introduction, it went haywire, and there was no sound or anything. So you didn't hear a thing I said. So I decided to let's try it again. So thank you again for tuning in and thank y'all for catching the replay. Really appreciate that. And let's see. But what I wanted to do was kind of set the stage for some discussion around microfinance. I think microfinance is going to be the basis for a lot of things that we do in the Congo because people, poor people, don't have the resources. Congo does not have the banks that you can go to. And then also, just poor people won't be able to, even if they loan money, which they probably don't, they won't be able to qualify for it. So one of the things that we're going to have to do in order to get some of these social projects going is to start our own microfinancing and things. So we'll be looking at microfinance as a way to jumpstart a lot of social businesses. So when I looked at the video today uh, by Dr. Um, Muhammad Yunus, he was talking at a TEDx event in Vienna, and he laid out the history of it from his perspective of microfinance and what they had been doing in Bangladesh. And I thought it was a couple of different issues that I thought were very uh, interesting. And the first issue is that the microfinances required very little money to help people out, to help them start their business. And in actuality, the case that he was doing was they had went to loan sharks and borrowed, you know, little piddly amounts equivalent of $1, and they had started their businesses, but they was not able to pay it off because the person who had loaned them the money made them provide the goods to them, and as a result, when they provided the goods to them, they um, they didn't get the full value of it. They got a reduced value, so it was like uh, perpetual in servitude. So, but that's not to say that that goes on around the world, but in some places more prevalent. But one of the things that really interested me in this and what I want to key on is he talks about how the Grameen Bank, and Grameen means village, so it's a village bank, how it differs from the traditional banks that we consider here in the West and in the United States. Uh, they are banks, number one, that are for the rural people and not the city folks. Most banks want to put their branches and and treat people have customers in the major cities and in the areas where they get a lot of high traffic and things like that. But the Grameen Bank chose the rural area where the people were poor and were working for a living and things. So that was the first distinction, which it makes sense. And so a bank like that is not going to be a traditional bank. It's going to be something different. The second thing it had is banks, when you go in to get a loan or something, they want to know your financial history. Here in the United States, they're going to pull your credit report, how well you paid your bills, you know, what are you doing? And they probably have little to no interest in what you're going to use the money for, especially on a signature loan or something like that, that you're not uh, putting collateral against it. They just said, okay, let me look at your credit report, what you've done in the past, whether you paid it in paperback things, and okay, yeah, we're going to give you money. Now, in the Grameen Bank, they had talked to the people and they had found out what they wanted to do and how they could help them and what they needed to get started. So these people were actually getting money to start businesses, and in the case, if the business sounded sound, and if it sounded like it was going to, in the case of social business, that it was going to help people out, um, and not only themselves but help other people, it was worthwhile. And then finally, the third point that he made was that the business, that the banks, the traditional banks, are run by rich men, and make that distinction. They're rich and they are men. Now, in the Grameen Bank, they chose poor women, and the poor women actually own the bank because they put their savings in it, and so the bank actually reloan money out from the income and repayment of loans that the women, primarily women, have already done. So it was a bank for the poor women. It was not a bank run by rich men, and so therefore they were sympathetic to other women, and they also formed groups that they knew the women, they knew what they wanted to do, and they knew that they probably was going to get paid back. Paid back. So that's why they have a higher repay rate of somewhere 99%, and so it works out a lot better. So that's what I just wanted to kind of give you a quick summary. And also in the description, there is a link to that his talk about that. It's about 26 minutes. So sometime over the next few days, if you want to take a look at that video and give me your comments. Do you think it's something viable and that it would uh, be something that would work in other countries? Because Grameen has a branch in America. It's called Grameen America, and they do uh, microfinance loans here in the United States to women. And in the United States, they're saying that their average loan amount is $1,500. So therefore, they're doing work here in the United States because we have poor, just like in other countries, but our uh, needs for a loan are just as important and just as needed for women to get started into business. So give me your thoughts on it, and we may talk a little bit more later about Grameen America and see how it's doing. But you can look it up on the web. It's Grameen America. And also, I'm inviting you to take a look at that TEDx talk and see what you think about it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Sorry that things went a little haywire today while I was in the out in the street, out walking, and so therefore it did not know that it did not do right. So anyway, take care, enjoy your weekend, and please do that. Give me your comments. I would appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we will talk with you later.